The Grid Life iRacers UK Tour heads to Oulton Park this week for the third round of the season. This week, we've got a couple liveries to give out to the drivers that were naughty last week at Donington. Eric Catil and Ken Houseel are running some clown liveries this week. I'm here joined by Jeff Royan for the third round of the Grid Life iRacers Championship at this very, very challenging track in Britain. Now, Jeff, as we head into the third race of the season, this is probably the narrowest track we've had to negotiate so far. One of the more challenging tracks that we're going to see. The only track left on the schedule is Brands Hatch next week, which is a little bit wider and a little bit more forgiving. Your thoughts on this crazy racetrack and how 40 drivers are going to make it around here without a whole lot of trouble tonight?
Yeah, we're really going to have to see. I mean, this is a really tight course. It's got a lot of little technical bits. There's a chicane in it that is very, very tight. There's tire barriers on either side of it. So, I mean, if you hit those, you are gone. You are done. So, I mean, you have to really avoid things here. And a lot of the exits are very sketchy as well. So we're going to have to see how this plays out and see how people do.
All right, so qualifying is underway right now. There's John D. Allen we're taking a look at right now in his number 22 car. Eric Catil is one of the drivers with these very special livery on it, the clown show livery this week. And Jeff, these are kind of hilarious, I'm not going to lie. They're a little silly looking, but again, Eric, the reason why he got his penalty is because last week at the start of race number 1, I believe it was race number 1, he cleared his own black flag after a jump start. Which is a big naughty no-no. So he's got that clown show racing car on it this week, as well as Ken Houseel for cheating and clearing his black flag after corner cutting. So both those drivers with this very special livery this week. And let me tell you, Jeff, it's not a livery you want to be driving because it makes you look silly and it makes everyone else around you want to avoid you.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, you definitely wouldn't want to try and go against somebody who has a livery like that. I would probably want to try and get past them as fast as you can, or possibly try and maybe get away from them, but yeah.
So we got 40 cars strong here tonight, and that's the maximum allowed drivers at this racetrack. So there's going to be a big challenge on the initial start of this race with how narrow this place is. We're taking a look at turn number 1. I know you didn't get a chance to really run some laps around here, Jeff, but I did over the course of this week, did a bunch of practices. This place is narrow, and all these corners feel so constricting on corner exit. Track limits will be an issue tonight. Keeping yourself on the pavement and off the rumble strips in some areas of the racetrack are going to be a big challenge. Other points is Knickerbrook, I believe, at the end of the straightaway. There's a big jump there at the end of the straightaway, and you can go 4 wheels off on the inside curb and not get yourself a penalty. Let me tell you something, Jeff, it's a lot faster to do that. So the start of this race is going to be pretty wild. Let's take a look at our track conditions tonight. 69 degrees in the air and 107 degrees on the racetrack. So pretty slick out there for sure. The track isn't super fast. The best lap time laid down in qualifying so far, Robert Hartley with a 1:46.469. A couple other drivers kind of creeping around the course. Gerald Nembard in the 27. That's a new name here, the Grid Life iRacers Championship. Rolling around, has not laid down a time. Going to try to do it. And Jeff, tonight, talk to me about the importance of qualifying in a racetrack that's this narrow and this fast.
Really want to try and get ahead of the field, because if you're going to have to try and pass through here, it's going to be really, really tough. And you're just not going to be able to pass that many cars. So it's definitely very crucial to try and get to the front of the pack.
So again, 40 cars strong, and that's a whole lot of cars for this racetrack. This is really a club level circuit and doesn't typically see usually this many cars. Usually it'd be between 15 or 20, not 40 as we have here tonight. DJ Alessandrini is hanging out in pit lane. He's laid down a good qualifying time, a 1:46.688. As well as John D. Allen, who's still rolling around in third place right now as he heads through Knickerbrook, and he's going for a slide, and he's going to pound himself into the barrier on corner exit. So some challenges tonight for sure. If you're hanging out waiting for this race to get started, thank you for joining us tonight here on Sim TV. Of course, we have another race going on at the same time. It's Fuel Finals from Watkins Glen, the third to last race of the season. Also run concurrently with Finian DeCuna behind the controls of that one alongside, I believe, Connor Horn there tonight. So between race 1 and race 2, when we go to break for a few minutes, make sure you head over there to Sim TV and get a good long look at Watkins Glen. It's my home track, Jeff, so hopefully people will enjoy that race there as well.
Yeah, no kidding. Watkins Glen is a wonderful place. It's a very legendary circuit, and yeah, I love to see racing there, Kyle. Absolutely.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and one of those racetracks that I wish I could broadcast, but we got Grid Life tonight, and they always put on a good show. Eric Catil, 6th in qualifying, and he has not really had the best of seasons so far in this Miata. Compared to last season, where he was running pretty well in the Porsche Cup, as well as in some of the other stuff that they did, this has not really been the season to remember for Eric Catil, so hopefully tonight, with a 6th place starting spot, that'll be good enough to launch him into contention in race 1 or race number 2, or invert the top 10. Right outside of that right now is Luke McGrew in 11th spot in the number 21 car. And again, Luke a time attack driver in grid life, ran his ACR Viper the last couple of years, and currently working on an NC Miata built for GLTC. So some exciting things coming for Luke McGrew. Max Loop for the 688, he's hanging out on pit lane. He's actually, I think, either in the process of or has just recently sold his 93, either 93 or 97 Ford Taurus that he also ran in GLTC this year. I think he's building a BMW 2002 for 2020. So Loop for also a GLTC competitor. 50 seconds left in qualifying, and we'll take a look at the track map here. Well, or not the track map. It's 2.6 miles, 14 turns around here, Jeff. But I think the big challenge is taking a look at the track map that I have access to. Turn 1 is not really a great passing opportunity. Your best spots are down into the hairpin in turn number 5 or into Knickerbrook in turn number 10 with the big jump. That's really your two best passing opportunities, as well as I believe it's turn number 14 is a right-hander at the end of the long straightaway at the back half of the course.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, so I'm kind of interested to see through, I think turn 10 through turn 3, since those are all right-handers. I'm wondering if somebody can go down the inside and try and stay or starve off somebody around the outside. I'm really wondering if that's actually a thing that's going to happen. I've seen it happen a couple times in practice. I'm not sure if it's actually going to happen. I hope people don't dive into the chicane, but we're going to see.
The chicane is definitely only a single file excursion. You cannot go through there side by side. And of course, we're using the Britain chicane, which is the first of the two on the back straightaway. The other one is the Hislop chicane. Not using that one, so just the first one. And there's tire barriers on the apexes of those, Jeff, and you do not want to get yourself involved with those. That'll be a bad time for you for sure.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I saw a few people in practice that ended up trying to go too wide through there, and there was actually a couple times where they were lap traffic, and they ended up getting loose under braking. And they would like just barely skim any of those, and they go slamming into a wall.
Yeah, it's so not going to be a whole lot of fun to get yourself in the fence here at Oulton Park. So up at the front of the field, it's Robert Hartley and his number 33, and you can see behind him he's got 39 other cars ready to go racing tonight. The drivers with the liveries to watch out for. Of course, Ken Howe-Seal in one of them, and Eric Catil in the other. And they're both starting up towards the front, so it'll be interesting to watch them negotiate traffic with those clown show liveries line astern on the inside for turn number 1. So 2 races tonight, 15 minutes each. About 55 seconds left in the gridding process here. Here we go, getting ready to go racing at Oulton Park for the third round of the Grid Life iRacers UK Tour. Robert Hartley's going to lead them down. Green flag flies, and we're racing in England. Off to a great start. 33, Robert Hartley. Can he clear DJ Alessandrini for turn 1? He does. The rest of the drivers trying to negotiate their way down through turn number 1. So challenging. 3 wide all in the middle of the field. Ryan Christoph is out there. I think we've gotten through there without a whole lot of drama. Up at the front of the field, John D. Allen rides in 3rd, Ken Howe-Seal in 4th, Eric Catil in 5th, as Catil goes off on the exit of turn 2. Tense moments right now as everyone tries to negotiate their way around the 82. Again, a Catil goes way off course, heading straight for the tire wall. Can he get it back on course? He will, just in time for the hairpin. As we head through and towards the chicane for the first time, Jeff, frantic start here, but patience is going to be a great reward tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. That was an incredibly clean start. I don't even see anybody with damage, so I'm really impressed by that. I mean, I think we expected a lot more carnage than that, so this is going to be a good race.
Well, DiPietro's gone for a loop at the exit of the chicane, as well as Nick Nelson in the, excuse me, that wasn't Nick Nelson, it was Kevin Zhu, I believe. A couple more cars going off at the back of the chicane, but for the most part, all good up at the front of the field. Hartley still has it. Alessandrini still 2nd. John D. Allen 3rd. Ken Howe-Seal 4th. Is there a favorite that you like at the front of the field, Jeff?
That's just going to be really tough. It's they're really close up front. I mean, Robert definitely got a heck of a qualifying lap, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. I think DJ and Robert are going to fight it out.
Up at the front of the field, Robert Hartley and DJ Alessandrini so used to each other. They ran nose to tail quite often through the entire 2019 season in the Spec MX-5 Sim Racing Challenge. DJ was the one that won that, but Robert Hartley will lead lap number 1 here. Bob Casera, he's gone off. He's got some right front damage back here in 24th, and he's going to go for a spin right back into traffic, and he's going to just miss Ryan Christoph. And Christoph has had kind of a miserable week in practice. Hasn't really found a whole lot of comfort in this car. He started 19th. He's back to 25th. So a slow start for the 46 car tonight.
Yeah, I believe they have a blinker that's in the middle of the field. And that might scare, I don't know who that is. It might be Christoph, but somebody's kind of blinking out there. So
I know Christoph has had some trouble this week, and that might be one of the reasons why he's dropping towards the rear, hoping that won't be an issue for him for the rest of the night. Into the hairpin for the second time, and Hartley still hangs on. John D. Allen right behind him. Of course, Allen, a past competitor in the Global Mazda MX-5 Challenge, has also run Spec MX-5 Challenge as well. And there's another group that's formed up behind 5th place Rob Wilkinson, who right on board with Justin Hilly, who's in 6th, was mighty quick in practice all week, sits 6th right now, but I think your winners are going to be from one of those top 4 drivers as they start to break away.
Yeah, we're starting to see some bunches form again, I think, from the last time as well. So, I mean, we're going to see how this ends up, I think.
Into Knickerbrook again. I think Reese Everard has gone around. He's the number 1 car. He spun into the chicane. That's not a surprise there. That's been a challenging spot all week long. Robert Hartley still hanging on to the lead, though, as they head to the back half of the course, but DJ Alessandrini all over his rear bumper. Where's Ken Howe-Seal? He's back in 4th place. And Eric Kutiel, who is also running one of the clown liveries this week, back to 11th. But DJ up the inside and got a big wreck behind him.
In the back.
Jack Tranter in the 11. He's gone off big time.
I think he got loose.
He was out in the grass and bounced over and right back across and big hit into the Armco. He was the quickest driver in practice last night. And going to be the end of the night for him. Robert Hartley has the lead, but DJ down in turn 1. He wants it back. And as these front 4 fight, that could bring 5th on back into the picture. So they got to get sorted out relatively quickly as they make their way down through turn 2. DJ around the outside now.
Let's see if they go 2 by 2.
It's so challenging through this big left-hand sweeper to run side by side, and we're 2 by 2 here, Jeff. DJ's got a nose ahead, Hartley on the inside. Bit of a tap on the brakes for the 33 as they head down. DJ's off, dropped a wheel.
Let's see if he rejoins.
Yeah, he will. He will do it safely behind the clown-liveried 23 of Ken Howe-Seal. And Justin Hilly has closed that gap. Look how much time they gained. They're right back in the picture now.
Hartley went off a little bit there in the front.
Into the Britain chicane. You're playing with every inch of racetrack that you can, right up against the tire barriers. I believe also Tom O'Gorman is watching from his business trip. And Tom, you're supposed to be running that clown livery tonight, so I hope you got your clown nose on while you're watching. Don't get to escape it. I wonder if they'll make him use it when he comes back next week. But John D. Allen in 2nd, 3/10 back from Hartley as DJ's fallen to 4th as the front 5 all battle.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of pack forming as well. Looks like there's a little bit of bump draft there. I think on Allen.
Yeah, and these cars don't bump draft all that great around a track like this because it's so bumpy and so rough. So that's always a risk to do that as Ken Howe-Seal takes a look and they collide! John D. Allen smashes the barrier at the exit of the corner, and that's going to be the end of the night for the 22, at least.
Oh, and there's more carnage.
Oh, Paul Darling up the road. He's in the fence. Wow. And John Allen is done. Let's go back and take a quick look at how this happened. He was running right next to Ken Howe-Seal. And was there contact between these two? Oh yeah, I think on exit, Ken Howe-Seal got into him and turned him straight into the tire barrier. Big hit for the 22. And he head back live. He's still working his way around. Ryan Christoph is up to 22nd, past a couple cars that collided. Paul Darling in the 155. I think he's come down pit lane and gotten a fresh car to head back out on the racetrack. How about Andrew Abbott in the 25? That's that red car. He's got the 4, Chris Borsma, one of the time attack competitors, actually alongside Jeremy Swenson, another time attack competitor. And both these drivers extremely quick. Swenson's got a really big Corvette that makes a ton of power, and this is a bit of a change of pace for him, but he's been running good times all week. So things have calmed down a little bit. Eric Catil trying to work over Max Lupfer, but he's got Luke McGrew all over his rear bumper. And McGrew's going to pop out a line down the back straight as they head towards Knickerbrook.
See if the clown curse holds.
And looks like Eric will hang on for now. Behind him, Jacob Price in the 02, working over Bob Dice in the 34. Bit of a rub and a push there through Knickerbrook, but they got it sorted out. Then behind him, there's Nicholas Johnson, Andrew Abbott, Borsma, Swenson, and that's it until 16th Engelbert, who's back 5 seconds from this. Evan Berkey, Zoo, and Darling all together. And again, Paul Darling came to pit lane. He's right back out fighting for fun. And this is why you never give up here. You come on down, you get your reset, you go back out there and fight, Jeff.
Yeah, no kidding. It's going to be difficult to get through the pack, but I mean, it's sure going to be fun, especially when you're going to be a little bit faster than these guys. So you might be able to get some good little passes on them and get them under braking and all that kind of thing.
Samuel Engelbert goes around. He's gone for a spin. He's going to pull back on course. He has a little bit of time to do so. Let's take a look at how this happened. And he was already sideways coming into the corner. I think he's just going to get in. Oh, he just drags the left rear tire off in the dirt, goes for a slide. Entering the Grid Life Drift competitions this week, I think. And ends up slipping around, and there goes the 71. I think that was Carwile that went on by, and they got around safely. DJ's back up to second, though, while all that was going on. Hilly back to third. So Hartley, Alessandrini, Hilly, Wilkinson. It looks like how Seal has dropped really out of this fight due to that collision earlier in the race, and he's back down in 31st, so he looks like he came and got a reset as well.
Looks like DJ's sniffing some blood here. I'm not sure if Robert's losing a little bit of pace, but it might be the first. I can't tell if it's the first sector or something like that, but ends up catching up just a little bit.
Yeah, and you're going to see him take a big chunk of curb on the inside. You see him jump that curb and close in quite a bit on Robert Hartley. And again, these two, like I said earlier, they battle back and forth. Very friendly competition between these two. But they've got Justin Hilly, Rob Wilkinson, Krista Shung behind him, and those drivers are no slouches, and they're going to have something to say about this before the race is over. Hartley missed the second apex there, just a little bit, through Druids. And intense competition up front, but remember, we're going to invert the top 10 for race number 2. That really hasn't seemed to slow anybody down, especially last week at Donington. The results were remarkably similar to race 1 because of how things shake up. 15 minutes is plenty of time for these guys up at the front of the field. Rob Wilkinson's dropped off just a little bit from third place Hilly, Jeff, so I think he's lost the draft here. His only hope is if these front three start fighting.
Yeah, I mean, it could also get, I think, Deschamps behind. It's possible. He might be able to catch up and then get a little bit of a draft going, but it could be difficult. I mean, he has to get some pace to actually catch up.
Justin Hilly right behind these front two. He's been incredibly quick, not only this week, but all season. And fighting some understeer through the middle of turn 3 as they head down. Oh, a car spinning a lapper right in front of the leaders, and they have to go around him. An opportunity for Hilly to run up alongside DJ Alessandrini, but he tucks in behind before they head into the Britain's chicane. That was a scary moment. And they jump the curbs.
Wonder how many more times that'll happen, because this is a somewhat short track, and it's also very difficult. And I believe the rear of the pack is quite a bit slower.
Yeah, there's Bob Casera up the road in the 45. There's some lap traffic that they are approaching. And Eric Catil has worked his way back into 6th where he started. Chris Boersma has gone around at the exit of the chicane. We'll take a quick look at how this happened, and he's just going to catch the exit curb in the wrong way and heads off and grabs the tire barrier at the right side of the car. DJ is hunting down Hartley here, Jeff. I think he's going to take a look.
It's going to be a tough place to do it.
Hilly took a look as well, but backed out of it. DJ jumps on the binders a little bit early. And they head through turn 14, back through 15, and back down to turn number 1. Hartley continues to lead the way.
It really does seem like that when you get on the grass, you lose quite a bit of time. I don't know if they're trying to stay off of it and try and maybe just kind of negate the off track, but it does seem like when they get in the grass, they lose quite a bit of speed.
Kevin Zoo's gone around. He had the number 243 car at the... Whoa, he was way offline heading into Knickerbrook and got it back on course. Fought it a couple times, spun out, and got into the fence, so he'll drop all the way back down to 28th. And he's still going off right now through Druids. Side by side for the lead. Here comes DJ up the inside of Robert Hartley. He's back to fight for more. And Hartley's going to try to cross back underneath them. They're going to drag race to the chicane, but DJ's going to win it this time. Coming through the chicane, only 3 minutes left. It should be only about 2 laps to go when we get back to the start and finish line. Wonder if that's enough time for Hartley to build up another run. He's going to have a really good look here. Boersma has called it a day. He returns to the pits. Hartley's going to back out.
Yeah, let's see what Justin does here. He's got a little bit of a good spot to try and get through if these guys make a mistake.
Yeah, he's just kind of waiting in the wings. I don't think he's pushing the issue just yet. Really, the best passing opportunity is down in turn number 14, the sharp right-hander at the end of the lap. And he's probably going to set up for a last lap pass there, maybe to at least get to second. Setting up. There'll be 2 laps to go this time by DJ's off course just a little bit. Hartley follows, and they've closed in more on Bob Casera, who's still down a lap, or about to go a lap down. And he's going to pull over and let them on by.
I believe that's about it for lap traffic.
Hopefully. Someone can always spin out and make it more exciting than it needs to be, but the front 3, it's going to be between these guys. And you could have told me before the race that this was going to be the trio we'd be talking about, and I would have believed you. Rob Wilkinson's 3 seconds back, then Chris DeShong, Eric Catile, Luke McGrew, Max Lupfert, Johnston, and Bob Dice, the rest of your top 10. And Hartley looks up the inside as they head towards the hairpin, but I don't really think that's a great passing zone. And Hilly's going to take a look, and he's going to dive up the inside here. Open door, he's going to close it now. Or side by side out of the hairpin as they head towards the Britain chicane yet again. And Alessandrini's got this, but Hartley is not going away. And he knows next time by should be white flag. So I guarantee you he's not going to wait around a whole lot longer.
Yeah, DJ really needs to not make a mistake here.
Tomo sighting on the rear bumper of the 12 car. Got the blue glasses peeking out from behind the Pirelli sticker. As they crest Knickerbrook and head up under the Advan Bridge towards Druids. And Hartley, oh, he's going to almost dipped his wheels off in the grass, taking a look. He's going to back out for now, be a little bit more patient. Turn 14 might be a better opportunity here. Cresting the hill, now towards turn 14. Will Hartley take a look here, or will he wait to the last lap? Going to stay in line now, Justin Hilly. I don't think he can win from third here, Jeff. Do you think he should get by Hartley first, or do you think he's going to try to capitalize when Hartley tries to get by Alessandrini?
You know, it's going to be tough to say. It kind of depends on the situation. I would say if Robert does get by, I would say he would probably definitely have to follow in that case. But, I mean, it's going to be difficult to say for sure.
Through turn 1, the white flag is in the air, last lap around. Hartley has led 6 of the 9 laps that we've run so far. DJ all over the winning podium for all sorts of series, but he's going to drop a wheel off on the exit at 2, and Hartley closes. Hilly drops off a couple tenths of a second as they head towards the middle sector.
I believe DeShong is also caught up to the back of Wilkinson there.
Oh, DJ slides a little bit as they head down into the hairpin. I don't think Hartley's going to make a move till turn 14. He's been incredibly patient. I don't think you'll see him rush to move here and risk getting passed back. Now, perfect chicane. Do not get yourself a cut course through here. Line yourself up for the exit. Beautiful for both these front runners, as well as Hilly from behind. And here comes Hartley. DJ goes defensive to the inside lane. It's a great move there. Defend before Hartley can take a look. Going to be side by side through Knickerbrook. Here they go. Over the curb goes the 12. He bounces. Hartley gets a spectacular run around the outside. And Hilly, which line is he going to choose? The one with Hartley. Couple more corners left. Druids, then it's turn 14 and 15 to end the race. Hartley back to the top spot. Alessandrini fights for second, but DJ's going to have one more chance to get back by Hartley. I don't think he's close enough, Jeff.
We'll see. It looks like he's not going to be able to make the dive.
Robert Hartley through turn 14. A well-planned last lap pass. He's going to get by DJ Alessandrini for second.
Drag race.
Drag race for second place. Robert Hartley comes across the line to win. And for second, who's going to get it? They crash at the line. I think DJ had it by 26 thousandths of a second. Behind him, Chris DeShong, Rob Wilkinson, and Eric Catile come 5th and 6th. Luke McGrew in 7th. Luke for an 8th. And the rest of the drivers inside the top 10 nose to tail. Paul Darling, look at this fight. Paul Darling, Eric Pennington, Ryan Carwile all together. Nose to tail, the side. Carwile's off in the final corner. Drag race, this is for 16th, make that 15th place. Here they come. To the line. Who's got it? Darling, I think, had it by a nose. 21 thousandths of a second between those two. How about John D. Allen and John Nichols? These guys banging doors as they head towards Druids. Oh, there goes Nichols. A big hit on the fence, and he rolls it over into Druids. With only a couple of corners left. Drama there for those drivers. Whew, Jeff. I'm torn. Kind of tired after that one. That was a wild race. Here's a look at your race results. It was Hartley that got it done. Alessandrini 4/10 back, then Hilly. Only 26 thousandths of a second behind DJ Alessandrini. Then some great finishes there for drivers like Luke McGrew. Max Lupfer has a really solid run in 8th place. Nicholas Johnston getting a nice run in 9th. Jeremy Swenson in 11th. Bob Dyson 12th. Good run for him tonight. Ryan Kristoff in 27th. He'll be disappointed with that. Ken House Steele, of course, with the collision he had with Paul Darling. That will probably be an extension of the clown livery into next week. I'd probably make that my guess. Driver that really held on quite nicely for the majority of the race was Val DiPietro. He spun out on one of the opening laps, and he ends up coming on through and finishing 18th after rebounding from his collision. So good, strong finish for the 102. All right, we're going to jump to break just for 1 second. We're going to grab your winner, and we'll talk to him here in just a moment. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back live to Sim TV here now with 4th place finisher Chris DeShong in the number 41. Chris, a great run to the line there. Just got around Rob Wilkinson with a couple laps left to spare. Are you pretty happy with that? And how do you think you're going to run in race number 2?
Yeah, I'm actually very happy about how that race result went. Honestly, I ended up finishing 4th place really only because of attrition. It seemed like a lot of the fast guys ended up hitting something else on track. And I'm actually sorry to Rob because I think on the last lap he braked slightly early and I braked a little bit later than normal, and that ended up me punting him off. So really sorry to him for that. But other than that, I'm happy with how the race went. I really don't know how the next race is going to go. This place seems to be a carnage fest.
It seems like a carnage fest, but it's also, it seems like you have a couple passing opportunities. Where's your favorite? I know the turn 14's that right-hander at the end of the lap, then there's the hairpin, the chicane, the right-hander at the end of the straightaway. Where's your favorite place, and where do you think is the safest place to make a pass?
My favorite's actually, I call it the fishbowl myself. I can't remember the name of the exact corner, but basically the one that's the furthest away in the circuit. It's really fun being able to late break into there and get a great, just being able to dive in on people. If you can hold it and then power out of there and they can't do anything about it. All
right, Chris DeShong, 4th place in race number 1. Hey, Chris, good luck in race number 2. Hopefully we'll talk to you again. Every time you're in here, you're having a good night probably. Well, good luck. We'll see you later.
Thank you very much, Kyle. Nice to see you again.
Absolutely. Moving on now to Robert Hartley, who won the race. A well-planned last lap pass to get by DJ Alessandrini. Robert, it's always difficult to race DJ because he's just so talented, as are you. But how do you beat a guy that's that good? And was your plan the whole time to wait and be in second on that last lap, or you were hoping to be in the lead the whole time?
I was trying to be in the lead the whole time, but it's almost impossible when you're racing against these guys. But man, DJ got by me, and I was thinking, well, I've got to do something quick to try to get back by him. And I never could get enough run, and ended up getting a good run coming out that chicane on the last lap. And somehow we made it around the kink side by side. It was intense. My heart was pounding for sure.
As we head into race number 2, we'll be starting back in 10th spot. This is not an easy track to pass that. It's very narrow and very bumpy. Is patience going to be a virtue here, or are you going to try to charge the front as fast as you can?
Yeah, I'm going to try to take my time and pass when I get to runs. This is definitely going to be a different race here. It should be exciting.
All right, Robert Hartley comes home winner of race number 1. Robert, good luck in race 2. We'll hopefully talk to you later.
Thanks.
All right, Jeff, we're going to head to break here for just another moment, but your thoughts after that one, your predictions for race 2, going to be crazier, or do you think a little bit calmer now that drivers have had some experience running with the field?
You know, I think looking from previous races, I don't think that race 2 is going to be that much different, but I mean, I'm hoping that it's going to be probably as clean as the first one. The inversion of the top 10 is going to be a little bit interesting, especially trying to get through with this narrow of a track, but I mean, yeah, it should be pretty good, so we'll have to see.
All right, race number 2 will be up in about 5 minutes, so just hang tight for a few. While you're waiting, we got the Mission 22 Cup Series run by Fuel. They're at Watkins Glen right now with over 30 Cup cars, so make sure you go ahead and watch that. Their championship format eliminates 2 drivers every single race. They're eliminating 2 more tonight. We'll be back here in about 5 to 10 minutes, so hang over there and say hi to Finian for a few minutes. We'll be right back. Welcome back live to SimTV and the Red Life iRacers UK Tour. We're here at Oulton Park for race 2 of round 3 of the season. Next week we finish off at Brands Hatch for the last race of the season before we head in to another car and track combination for the second season of the winter. Now, I'm here with Jeff Roy. Again, my name is Kyle Heyer. And Jeff, in race 1 we saw a lot of action up towards the front of the field. It was Robert Hartley that got it all done, but now we're going to invert the top 10 and do it all over again. You have a prediction for race number 2? Because I know that DJ Alessandrini and Robert Hartley are going to be pretty good picks for sure.
Yeah, if people can't, if people stop making just a little bit of minor mistakes, we can start seeing some pack racing. And if we start seeing some pack racing, we could see a good group of people fighting for the lead. So we're going to have to see how that ends up.
Eric Catil in the number 82, one of the Clown Show racing cars tonight, as well as Ken Houseal, who had some trouble in the first race of the evening and ended up getting caught up in a collision, I believe, with what was the name? John D. Allen, who's who I'm thinking of. And they had a little bit of a collision, and Houseal is currently 4th in warm-up, and hoping that livery will not have him be a cause of another issue tonight, because he might get an extension to that livery damnation towards the end of the week here. So it's currently 4th in warm-up as we're just waiting for a couple more drivers to get in here. We'll turn them loose for race 2 of the night. Nick Nelson in the 663 had a collision earlier, looking to rebound from that in his Red Bull liveried Mazda Miata. Max Lupfer in the 688 had a really strong run. I think he finished 8th in race 1, one of his best finishes in the series. Maybe he can run a little bit better, but I guess you said earlier during the break, Jeff, that the temperatures are a little bit different. Do you think that's going to affect the racing a whole lot?
It's hard to say. I was thinking that maybe the exits might be a little bit less sketchy, so they might be able to get some more power down, and it might be a little bit easier just to keep control of the car. But I mean, we're going to have to see. I haven't really, obviously, like what I said earlier, I haven't driven the combo yet, so I'm not quite sure with that.
So you take a look at the sky, very orange right now as the sun sets. That's helped bring the temperature down just a little bit as well. More grip and more shade means faster cars and being able to make more moves. And one driver that really didn't get the finish he deserved was Jack Tranter. Now, again, quickest in a couple of the practices this past week, extremely fast, but ended up crashing out of race 1, finished dead last. And I know for a fact that he'll have a better race number 2. So looking forward to see what he can do in his Johnny Walker sponsored number 11. Justin Hilly in the 48 ran 3rd. Right behind DJ Alessandrini by less than a nose. And he'll be starting in front of both DJ and Hartley for race number 2. So maybe he's got a shot. All right, take a deep breath, Jeff, because it's going to be crazy. As you said earlier, I don't really know what we can expect other than the start of this thing is going to be extremely frantic with these standing starts, making sure you don't stall the car, getting the right amount of wheel spin, and on top of all that, getting through the front 10 for guys like DJ and Hartley. Hartley said he's going to take his time, but their idea of taking time is a little bit different than our idea, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to try and get to the field, but they're probably also going to try and take it cautiously. So, I mean, with the pace that they have, they'll probably still be rushing through the field. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting.
The Britain's chicane was actually not quite as much of a carnage area as I thought it would be earlier to see the 24 of Alfred Rodriguez hit the fence pretty hard there. That wasn't as big of an issue as I thought it would be. We saw a lot of issues over on Druids on the backside of the course, as well as down in turns 1 and 2. We saw a bunch of cars go off there. So some challenges all over this racetrack, but again, the primary passing opportunity has been turn 14, the right-hander at the end of the lap so far tonight. Warm-up is complete. We'll rack them up and stack them up for the start of race number 2. Again, 15 minutes on the board for this one. And again, the starting grid is determined by your finishing position in race 1, but the top 10 have been inverted. And unfortunately for Jack Tranter, it means he's starting all the way back in 35th place. Well, sitting on board with him right now, and that is how far back he is, almost in turn number 15. While the other guys are up towards the start-finish line, so he's got a lot of work to do. And Ken Houseal also starting very far back here as well, Jeff, so he's got a lot of work to do as well.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, looking ahead, you're just looking at all those cars and just thinking, oh man, I got to get through so many of these, and hopefully, I don't get in a wreck or something like that. So I feel for these guys quite a bit. I mean, it's going to be a struggle.
Opportunities for Max Lupfer, for Eric Catil. Again, he'll have a 5th place starting spot. Rob Wilkinson as well. And again, the top 10 of these guys are so close on pace that I think flipping them around is really going to make this an entertaining race. Perhaps even more entertaining than race number 1, as we have the lights red right now and waiting for the green flag. 15 minutes on the board. Green flag flies and racing for the final time at Oulton Park in round 3 of the Grid Life iRacers UK Tour. And it's Nicholas Johnson in the number 27 who's firing off to a spectacular start. He'll lead down into turn 1.
Oh, there's a little bit of carnage.
And trying to find it. That's that DJ Alessandrini and Hartley. They're both spun out as more spin in front of them. That's a 243 of Kevin Zhu. But for Hartley and DJ Alessandrini, they get shuffled way to the back of the pack. We got to quickly go back and take a look at how that happened. I think it was DJ that got tagged, but by who? Was it Hartley that got into him? Oh yeah, DJ turned down across the nose of Hartley. That's what put him all the way back here. And now they're fighting for 26th and 28th. They're not going to be able to win this race now. That's turned this thing completely on its head. And Nicholas Johnson leads the way to the Britain chicane for the first time.
Yeah, let's see if this gives them some motivation to try and get to P1, because they might have a chance here if somebody goes around.
Yeah, that's Max Lupfer. He's spun around on the exit of the chicane, and he's going to have to wait a long time. It's a bad spot to be sitting as the whole field drives on by. For second, Eric Catil up the inside of the 14, grabs that spot away. Going to shove the 14 a little bit wide as Rob Wilkinson tries to follow Catil up through. Maybe this is Eric's night. He has not had the luck this season. Can he turn it around with some misfortune from DJ and Hartley?
Yeah, Jimmy's running away in P1 as well.
Side by side for second. Jimmy Vidak around the outside hangs on for now. Wilkinson, DeShong, Hilly, Swenson, Dice, Pennington, DiPietro rounding out your top 10. DiPietro had not a great race one after getting involved in a collision. Chris DeShong around the outside in 5th. And Ryan Christoph has gone around. Oh, big crash at the back of the field. There's oh man, the 12 car destroyed. That was Sam Engelbert. And Ryan Christoph's been in it. You see DJ Alessandrini going around, but there was a big mess as Christoph spun back across the racetrack right in front of some of these drivers, and that got the 12 all tagged up in it. The 31 of John B. Allen got in it. A big mess at the back of the field as we head up towards the front. As second place still under contest, Jimmy Vidak and Eric Catil side by side as they head towards the chicane for the second time behind them. That was another car off. Charles Boley in the 63 spins out of turn 2.
My apologies. I think I meant Johnson for P1 instead of Jimmy there.
Oh, thank you. Jimmy Vex, he spun out down into the hairpin. That's why we thought it was the other way. 14 spun out. I didn't see how that happened. Let's go back and take a quick look. It was on the outside of Catil. Does he drag a tire off? I think he just got off the course there and spun out. So Nicholas Johnson's up in the lead. Catil second, Wilkinson third, Hilly fourth. Now Johnson has a chance to break away here. Ryan Carwile in the background. He's fighting with Jacob Price. That's for 10th spot. Nice clean run through Knickerbrook as here comes Andrew Abbott in that red 25 up here as well. For third place, though, we're going to, I don't want to jump back quite yet as we watch this battle. But Justin Hilly has moved himself up into third right behind Eric Catil. They head into turn 14, and Hilly's got the spot. Johnson's 2 seconds up the road, Jeff. Do you think these guys can run him down?
It doesn't seem like it. He's running away quite quickly, and especially when these guys are going to be battling, trying to get, looks like, to P2, so we're going to have to see.
DeShong pops out of line for turn 1, easily goes around Wilkinson. And look at Swenson using all the racetrack plus some to get alongside Wilkinson. Wow, what a move there. Gonna open the door back up on DeShong for the 37 of Wilkinson, and kind of an awkward moment as they try to decide who gets to go first. Some contact, and DeShong's gonna go around for a ride. Little naughty there for the 37, bit of contact. Jorge Ortiz returning to the racetrack after a collision early. A few more cars in pit road, Bob Casera, Ryan Ahrens, and more. So Catil has cut the lead down on Johnson by about a half a second in the first half of this lap. He's got Justin Hilly right behind him, and my bet is that these two are going to work together.
Yeah, there might be some draft partnering here. It's possible.
A little bit wide for Hilly through the chicane, and you got to be careful not to get yourself a cut course through that section. It's easy to do.
Not kidding. Yep.
1.4 seconds is the gap between Johnson and Catil. Catil's luck this season has not been very good. He could turn it around here tonight. He's just got to be flawless for the next 6 or so laps with 10 minutes left to go in this race.
Yeah, he's gaining pretty strongly though, so we're gonna have to see how the next lap goes, I think.
Yeah, he's gained a bunch. I think he's way faster than Johnston. And setting himself up to get by Johnson within the next lap or so.
We'll see if Johnston defends.
I don't know if he'll be able to. I mean, I think the speed difference is large enough that it'll be pretty tricky to defend from Catil. He's gained about 1.5 seconds on this lap alone. Across the line for Johnson, what's the lap time going to be? It's a 1:46.6. Catil a 1:45.3. So 1.3 second gain, yeah. Mid-pack, Kevin Berkey in the 87. John D. Allen in the 31, who's got a bunch of front-end damage on that car after that collision in the background with Ryan Christoph, and the 12 of Samuel Engelbert. Bob Dice in 5th place in his number 28. This is a really good run for this man right here. Started 12th up to 5th, plus 7 spots early. He's got to be pretty happy with that. He's just got to hang on. He's got Wilkinson all over his rear bumper. And into the Britain chicane, you see the leaders approaching. Johnson has a 0.6 of a second lead. Catil is within drafting range, and I think it'll be within this lap. We'll see a lead change here. Riding on board with the 82 down the long back straightaway. And taking this jump through Knickerbrook. Again, Eric Catil's
got the draft now.
Yeah, he's got the draft now, and Eric Catil's a GLTC competitor that knows how to race, and he knows how to race from a position where his car is not necessarily the strongest. He was up against K-Swap Miatas at Road Atlanta that had a whole lot more straightaway speed than his car did. Different torque band here. Now, the drivers and the cars, the cars are equal here. The drivers are not. Catil looks to the left side into turn 14. Johnson goes defensive, and Catil going to maybe do an over-under here. It's a tricky corner to do it in, and he'll have to sit behind him here on the straightaway. No, he swings to the right for the lead. Catil up the inside for turn 1. Hilly sitting back, watching this all out his windshield. Halfway through this race, and yeah, again, he's sitting in 3rd. A great spot to be. Johnson, a strong run through turn 1. He hangs on. Catil trying to line up this run. He's got Justin Hilly behind him. Co-opetition, Jeff. These guys are line astern. Going to be pushing and shoving each other to get by this 27.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting strategy to try and get around him, especially if he's going to be defending this hard. So we're going to have to see if they do some draft partnering or if they just straight up fight him like what they're doing right now.
Yeah, you heard Eric Catil go down to 2nd gear in the hairpin. A lot of drivers just stay in 3rd to avoid the extra shift, but Catil down to 2nd, and it seemed to have helped him as they head through the Britain chicane. 1, 2, and 3 separated by 0.2 apiece, and this will be a good run for Catil on the exit of the chicane as they head down towards Knickerbrook. Will he take a move here, or do you think he's going to sit in line here and wait for a better opportunity later?
It looks like he was playing safe on the brakes, so I'm not sure if he's feeling a little bit sketched out because the driver ahead isn't really braking as well, but it did seem like he left it off a little bit.
Yeah, it does seem like he's being pretty patient right now. He was on the brakes a lot earlier than Nicholas Johnson the last time through, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him just kind of wait and hang out here. The problem is if you wait, and you see they're running slower than 4th place Jeremy Swenson, and they're going to bring another driver into this fight, and that can make this whole thing more unpredictable. So Catil's got to be careful with this, and he's going to take a look up the inside for turn 14. Pass for the lead. Here they go. Short way around. It wasn't the quickest way, though, and Johnson hangs on yet again. Great defensive driving by the leader. Catil really deep on the brakes into turn 1, drives right up to the bumper of the 27. Hilly got a good run, but he's going to stay here and do nothing with it. It's brought Swenson back into the mix. It's now a 4-car fight for the lead. Catil takes a look. Off to driver's left through the fast left-hand sweeper. This is a dangerous place to make a pass. Door to door as they head into the hairpin. This 27 slides.
Oh, loose.
He dropped a wheel off in the dirt, but he saves it. He'll drive right up the inside of the 82, and he'll hang on to the lead. What a power move for the 27. And Catil drags a wheel off as well. So that was dramatic there as Johnson
Don't go
almost
too wide in the chicane.
crashed it. They're going to try it, and they do, but the 82 is going to get shoved off just a little bit. And Hilly drives up to second. Here comes Swenson.
3-1.
What a move for Swenson, but not going to have a good enough run to do anything with it. That was spectacular racing. Catil shuffled to third, Hilly to second. Hilly had a great run.
Bumper.
Nowhere to go with it, though. What do you do here? You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's going to take a look to the right through Druids. This is a dangerous place to make a pass, but maybe his only opportunity.
Oh, it's going to be tight in the exit.
Oh, man. I always worry on exit because it just gets real tight there. And Hilly goes to the lead with a strong move through Druids. The 48 to the top spot. Johnson to second. Catil going to take the opportunity to fly up the inside.
Yeah, so Hilly's just got to run now unless Catil can get a good run. It looks like he has.
Hilly, the opportunistic driver from third to first in one lap. The 27 tries to come over to block the 82. And now Swenson looks to the outside of the 82 of Catil down into turn one.
Oh, and a little bit of a bump.
Oh, boy. 4 minutes left. Wow, look at the run Catil got through one. Alongside the 27.
Whoa.
3 wide.
What was that run?
I don't know where it came from, but Swenson to second.
All the way in the grass. I'm not even sure if that's legal.
And look who joined, Rob Wilkinson from 5th, and Bob Dice is here, as is the 29 of Eric Pennington. So it's a 6-car fight. Make it 7 as the 29 enters the picture. Hilly out in front of Jeremy Swenson by 0.3 of a second. And the 27,
behind.
oh, the 37 right in front of Pennington. They all stacked up there, and that put Catil essentially out of it. Wilkinson going to be done. See how this happened from a different angle. Did Wilkinson drive in and get into the 27, or did Wilkinson got a shove from Catil, spun the 37 around, and then Pennington had nowhere to go. A couple drivers eliminated from that fight, but Hilly and Swenson are nose to tail for the lead with 3 minutes to go. This might be 2 laps to go next time by. Robert Hartley, remember his issues at the beginning of the race? Went all the way back to 28th, but here he is in 7th place now. DJ Alessandrini has been unable to gain a whole lot of spots. He's back in 21st, but Hartley started 10th, fell back to 28th, and is now back in 7th. What a drive for the 33. See Pennington back here as well. He started in 15th, climbed all the way up to about 5th spot before getting involved in that collision in the hairpin. But with 2 laps to go, Justin Hilly leads Jeremy Swenson. I don't know if Swenson has ever won a race in the Grid Life iRacers Championship. I think Hilly might have a couple. But it's all going to come down to the final 5 miles here at Oulton Park.
Yeah, Hilly's just got an outlook in his mirrors. He's got to make sure he stays ahead and just keeps on going with his pace because he's got a little bit of a gain right now.
Ryan Carwile, John D. Allen fighting for 13th place. We'll keep an eye on that lead battle if it closes. Look at Allen and Carwile both off in turn 2. That's such a challenging corner to keep your car on track because you just want to unwind the wheel and go off there because it looks like that's runoff, but it's not, and it will get you if you go too wide. 0.3 of a second between the 2 leaders now. 1.7 back to Johnson. He's got damage, so it really probably be between one of these 2 front drivers. Now in the draft, Swenson. Time attack driver used to driving cars that have a whole lot more horsepower than this. It's all about momentum tonight. See the 48 get a much faster run through Knickerbrook, but then messes up the exit, and that's going to allow Swenson to close in through Druids, and it'll be white flag this time by, and Swenson is gearing up to make an incredible last lap pass. We'll see if he can get it done. Maybe a little late getting back on the gas there. Trying to prioritize his exit. Through turn 14, Hilly coming back to the white flag. Finished 3rd in race 1 by a fender to DJ Alessandrini for the 2nd spot. Eric Catil and Ken Houseel, the 2 Clown Joe cars running nose to tail. What a sight that is there, Jeff.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how that turns out. I mean, I'm assuming that they're not going to bump into each other, but...
Well, given their
we'll
liveries, it wouldn't be too surprising. But we'll see. Oh, we got a slow car. Car stopped. That's Alfred Rodriguez, dead stopped on the racetrack in a pretty bad spot, right on corner entry. See the 25 Andrew have a big slide through the corner as he tried to get around. They just letting the leaders on by. Justin Hilly leads the way. It's the last lap. Jeremy Swenson's all over the rear bumper. He's going to have to set him up for one opportunity. He's got one chance to get this right. If he makes a mistake, it's going to be all over, and it'll be Hilly's race to take. Britain's chicane. Hilly's in pretty deep. Jeremy Swenson set up the exit. Here's his run. Is he going to take it? Driver's left he goes. Side by side down the back straightaway here at Oulton Park.
Oh, that turn that's coming up is not going to be a good place to pass, though, so we're going to have to see if they go back to one wide.
Is Hilly going to give it up now and set up for a pass later? No, he's going to drive in deep. Swenson heeds right now, but he's not going to heed in turn 14. That's where he's going to take his next opportunity. No, going to drive up on driver's left into Druids. This is a terrible idea, but he's going to try it anyway.
He's got the inside line.
Now he's going to have drivers left outside. He's going to have to cross over. Hilly's got the lead. 2 more corners left. Turns 14 and 15. Swenson doesn't have a huge run. Can he do anything with Hilly in the final 2 corners? Here he comes.
It seems like, woo.
Up the inside, not going to be close enough. Hilly hangs on through the final 2 corners. Justin Hilly in 3rd in race 1. Fought hard in race 2. He's going to get it done. Grid Life iRacers winner in race 3 tonight. Swenson 2nd. Johnson 3rd. House Seal 4th. Catil 5th. Robert Hartley in 6th place after starting in 10th, dropping all the way to the back of the pack. 6th place has got to be like a victory to him. DJ Alessandrini, again, not a great race for him. Started up in 9th, dropped all the way to the end of the field. Got some damage and is rebounding now to 18th spot. Might have a chance for 17th as they come to the line. Drag race there, but it's going to go to the 5 of Brian Bavona for that 17th spot. DJ comes home in 18th. Lupfer comes across the line in 22nd spot. 21st, make that a 10th over Nick Nelson in the 663. All right, there's most of your lead lap finishers done. Let's take a look at your race results here. Hilly, Swenson, Johnson, your top 3. 4th, Ken House-Deal, Eric Catil 5th. Hartley, Bob Dice, Val DiPietro, Eric Pennington, and Jacob Price, the rest of your top 10. That was dramatic. That was a very exciting race there, Jeff.
I mean, coming through that final lap, that was getting pretty dicey between the top leaders, and especially with DJ and I believe Hartley crashing out. I mean, that just changed everything up, and everybody was kind of dicing for the front of the field, so that was a pretty good race overall.
A spectacular race, and cool to see Justin Hilly get it done. And again, the trouble all started at the start of the race for Robert Hartley and DJ Alessandrini. They tangled down in turn number 1. A very rare mistake there by DJ to cut over. Maybe there wasn't Hartley's corner rights, but one could argue that. But the 2 juggernauts of the series made a big mistake and put them back. Now, Hartley was able to rebound from it. DJ was not. So, again, congratulations to Justin Hilly. We'll hopefully be able to talk to him here shortly. Stay with us for interviews. We'll be right back. Welcome back live to Sim TV. We're here now with Ken Halseal, who went from, I believe, 24th or 26th to 4th in race number 2, Ken. But race 1 didn't go so well. That's why you ended up 26th for the race start. But walk us through both race 1 and your charge in race number 2.
Yeah, race 1, that was 100% my fault with John. So sorry to John for that. That was just, he missed the mark a little bit, and I was just stupid and stuck my nose in there. I think we probably, all 4 of us should have had the pace to just pull away from the guys behind there. But, oh well. It's just not great. Race 2 was much better. Just tried to keep my nose clean and only had minor contact with somebody that I don't remember where it was, but only minor contact with somebody, and the rest of it was nice and clean. So,
got one more round left next week at Brands Hatch. Do you feel like that'll be a better track for you, or do you think that'll pose as much of a challenge as race 1 did tonight for you?
Traditionally, I've been pretty slow there, so we'll see what happens.
Paint scheme for next week. We'll see you later.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Have a good night. Going to talk now with our 3rd place finisher, Nicholas Johnston. Nick, that was kind of a crazy race up towards the front of the field. You got some right side damage towards the end of that. Just walk us through battling those guys at the front, because it looked like a lot of fun from our perspective.
Oh yeah, it was great racing up there towards the front. I didn't get much practice in tonight, so qualifying did not go nearly as expected. Started 27th there in race 1, and my goal was just shoot for the invert, try to get within that top 10. I was able to fight my way up to 9th, which put me 2nd for the 2nd race. And from there, I got the lead and tried to pull a gap, and Eric was pulling in on me quite a bit there, and then got the draft, and that was it. He was going to be there, so I figured those guys had a little bit more pace than I did. You could see the parts of the track that they were better. So my goal was just to make sure to get good exits out of those places and try to hold them off as long as I could. Eventually, Justin was able to get by, and I gave him a little bump into 1, totally my fault. So I had to back off, let him collect things. Fell back to 3rd, and I was okay. I could sit here for a lap or 2 and kind of maybe try to figure out where these guys are better, and then work on something in the last couple laps. And I think there was some late moves going on behind me into the carousel turn, and I think just matter of circumstance, I ended up getting ran into. Luckily, I was able to collect it and run there 3rd. I was really hoping that Justin and Jeremy, I believe, who finished 2nd, I was hoping they're going to be side by side a little bit longer, because I was thinking about a lunge there in the last corner.
Nicholas Johnson, 3rd place tonight in race number 2. Nick, congratulations on a strong podium finish in race 2 after all that carnage there towards the end. Good luck next week. We'll see you at Brands Hatch.
Thank you.
And now, last but certainly not least, we're going to talk to Justin Hilly, who finished the race in the lead, 0.6 of a second up the road from Jeremy Swenson. Justin, you held off a driver who runs a car with a lot more horsepower than this one in time attack, and you got to be pretty happy with your race results in not only race 2, but also in race 1.
Yeah, super happy. Super happy. The track seems to kind of click for me, so worked out pretty well.
This racetrack is extremely challenging to pass on. It's all about building momentum. Where did you find your performance was best? Was it towards the first part of the track or towards the back half?
Thought it was better towards the first half, but that never really helped me much. It's really hard to make anything happen in turn 1 if you're not good on the last corner. And turn 2 is also tough. And then you're fighting all the way down that straightaway into the kink. I didn't really want to go for anything there. So really it was kind of climbing the hill after the end of the back straightaway. If you could get a run on somebody out of there, you could pass them in that, and I don't know the names or numbers, but that fast double right-hander leading onto the last straightaway.
It was a nice strong run for you this week, but we got one more round of this Grid Life iRacers UK Tour. It's at Brands Hatch next week. How do you feel about your chances in those 2 races there?
You never know. You never know with this crowd. You see the qualifying times are super close, and a lot of really good drivers, a lot of really consistent drivers. So it's all about luck. See how it goes.
All right, Justin Hilly, the number 48 car, 8th to 1st in race 2, gets it done here at Oulton Park. Justin, congrats. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, Jeff, that'll do it for tonight. I mean, that was a pretty spectacular night of racing, I gotta say. Through race 1 and race 2, some great action towards the front and some messy larryness in the middle of the field, but that's how it goes sometimes. And it's a lot of fun to watch these guys duke it out and have a little bit of fun in these cars. All about momentum racing and stringing laps together. And that's what Justin Hilly and Robert Hartley did in race 2 and race 1, respectively. Your thoughts after a great night of racing?
Yeah, I mean, not having seen that track before, I think this has made me quite a bit of a fan now of the track, because it seems like it does give some pretty good racing. I mean, it's so tight and it's so technical. It seems like it's a really, really good place to be. So definitely some good stuff tonight.
Good stuff tonight for sure. That's going to do it for us this evening. We're going to see you next week from Brands Hatch Circuit to round out the Grid Life iRacers UK Tour before we change over to a different car and a different track selection for the second season of the winter. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great night.